Even Hollywood's brightest stars have roles they regret. From casting controversies to unforgettable missteps, some moments reveal the challenges of authenticity in cinema. Here are 20 movie scenes that actors later regret. Number 20. Zoe Saldana. Zoe Saldana's portrayal of Nina Simone in Nina became a deeply regrettable chapter in her career. The controversy surrounding her casting erupted as soon as the film was announced, with critics questioning the decision to use darkening makeup and prosthetics to alter Saldana's appearance. Many saw this as a disrespectful choice that overlooks Simone's legacy as a prominent figure in Black culture and her unapologetic embrace of her racial identity. The backlash was swift and unrelenting. Critics, fans, and even members of Simone's family condemned the film's approach, arguing that it perpetuated Hollywood's problematic history of prioritizing marketability over authenticity in casting. For Saldana, what started as an opportunity to honor a legendary artist turned into an experience she now describes as a misstep. She has since expressed regret, acknowledging that she wasn't the right person to bring Nina Simone's story to life and apologizing for any harm her involvement caused. Reflecting on the controversy, Saldana has admitted that she should have stepped aside to allow someone else, more closely aligned with Simone's identity and struggles, to take on the role. Her regret underscores the importance of authentic representation in storytelling and the responsibility actors bear when portraying real-life figures. Number 19. Daniel Radcliffe. Despite the immense success of Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, Daniel Radcliffe has been surprisingly critical of his own performance in the film. Unlike his satisfaction with his portrayal in other installments, Radcliffe has expressed a strong dislike for his work in this particular chapter of the franchise. He has admitted to finding himself unwatchable, a rare moment of self-criticism for an actor who essentially grew up on screen. This honest admission is particularly striking given the global spotlight on the Harry Potter series, where every performance was scrutinized by millions of fans. For Radcliffe, this openness about his perceived shortcomings shows his vulnerability and the high standards he holds himself to. While his performance was widely regarded as fitting for the darker tone of the film, Radcliffe's own evaluation reveals the intense self-reflection that many actors face, especially when they've been part of a global cultural phenomenon. Interestingly, viewers may not agree with Radcliffe's harsh judgment of his work. Many fans appreciated his ability to match the somber atmosphere of Half-Blood Prince. His dissatisfaction with the film highlights the internal struggles actors can experience, even when their performances are well received by audiences. Radcliffe's candidness shows that even the most successful actors are often their own toughest critics. On a number 18, Sharon Stone. Some movie scenes become iconic, but their behind-the-scenes stories often reveal a more complicated reality. One such moment is Sharon Stone's infamous interrogation scene in Basic Instinct. While it catapulted the film into pop culture history, the story behind its creation highlights the challenges actors can face on set. In the scene, Stone's character, Catherine Trammell, provocatively crosses her legs, briefly exposing herself in front of detectives. However, Stone later revealed she had not consented to the level of explicitness portrayed. She explained that she had been assured the scene would be subtle and that nothing revealing would make it to the final cut. Trusting this, she followed director Paul Verhoeven's request to remove her underwear for the shot, believing the lighting and camera angles would obscure anything too revealing. To her shock, the final version of the film included a fully explicit take, shown without her prior knowledge. Feeling betrayed, Stone reportedly confronted Verhoeven in a moment of anger, even slapping him. She expressed her outrage at being exposed on screen in a way she hadn't agreed to, calling it a violation of her trust and professionalism. This incident remains a hotly debated topic, underscoring the need for transparent communication and mutual respect between directors and actors. For Stone, the experience left a lasting impression on her career, but it also sparked important conversations about consent in filmmaking, a discussion still relevant today. Number 17. Reese Witherspoon and Robert Pattinson. Filming a romantic scene in a 1930s circus might have seemed like the perfect setting for a captivating love story, but behind the scenes, things didn't exactly go as planned for Reese Witherspoon and Robert Pattinson. Despite their undeniable on-screen chemistry, Their kiss turned into an awkward and less than glamorous moment due to an unfortunate case of the common cold. While Water for Elephants was set against the backdrop of a magical circus romance, Pattinson recalled that he was battling a nasty cold during one of the pivotal scenes. He admitted, "My nose was running all over the place," and the situation only got worse when he found himself wiping his nose on Witherspoon's wig during a reshoot. Witherspoon herself confirmed how unpleasant the experience was, describing it as far from the romantic scene audiences were expecting. She humorously noted, "It wasn't pleasant, not appealing at all," showing that sometimes even the most beloved on-screen moments don't go quite as smoothly as one might think. While Pattinson's fans were no doubt fantasizing about the perfect kiss, Witherspoon had some practical advice for anyone hoping to share that moment with the actor. Bring a Sudafed. What could have been a dreamy, cinematic kiss turned into a funny and relatable mishap, reminding us that even Hollywood stars aren't immune to the occasional awkward moment. Number 16. Natalie Portman. Natalie Portman's journey into the role of Nina Sayers in Black Swan wasn't just a transformation into a character. It became an intense personal challenge that pushed her to the limits. For the film, Portman underwent rigorous training, sometimes for up to 16 hours a day, to portray a professional ballet dancer with authenticity. The physical strain was enormous, and the emotional toll was equally overwhelming as she delved deeply into Nina's psychological breakdown. Her commitment to the role was nothing short of extreme, embodying both the fragility and obsession of a dancer striving for perfection. Portman's dedication was key to her portrayal, and it didn't come without its costs. The demanding training led her to lose a significant amount of weight, and the emotional strain of playing a character spiraling into madness took its toll. Yet it was this same commitment that earned her widespread critical acclaim, culminating in an Academy Award for Best Actress. However, despite the accolades, Portman has openly reflected on the sacrifices required to bring Nina to life. Her experience of Black Swan serves as a powerful reminder of the price of perfection in the arts, showcasing not only the artistic fulfillment of playing such a complex role, but also the often overlooked struggles actors endure to achieve such a level of excellence. Number 15. Kate Winslet. When you think of Titanic, you probably picture that iconic moment with Rose on the couch, the French girl portrait in her hands, and Jack Dawson sketching her. For Kate Winslet, that scene, while integral to the film, has become a source of discomfort over the years. The drawing itself is one of the most memorable images in cinema history, but for Winslet, the legacy it created isn't always something she's thrilled to revisit. Years after Titanic hit theaters, fans continued to bring up that scene at every event, presenting Winslet with copies of the nude portrait for her autograph. As innocent as it might seem to fans, this repetition left the actress feeling uneasy. She admitted to being shocked by how the drawing continued to follow her, especially as she grew older and became a mother. While Winslet has come to terms with her role in Titanic and the exposure that came with it, the continued circulation of that particular image serves as a reminder of who she was back then, not who she is now. She explained how, in her 40s with children, looking back at that moment from her younger years can be uncomfortable, especially when fans approach her with something so personal. It's not just the role itself that makes her uneasy, it's the fact that this one moment from her past continues to dominate her public image. Number 14. Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen's career journey is a striking example of how fame and fortune can be eclipsed by personal struggles. Once celebrated as the highest-paid actor on television, earning $1.8 million per episode of 2.5 Men, Sheen's rise to stardom was matched only by the intensity of his fall. His struggles with addiction, which began in the 1990s, became a persistent issue, eventually leading to a series of public scandals. By 2010, Sheen's life was spiraling out of control. Arrests, allegations of violence, and substance abuse caused turmoil both personally and professionally. Production on 2.5 Men was halted as he sought treatment, but his behavior soon took another erratic turn. His highly publicized feud with the show's creator, Chuck Lorre, culminated in his dismissal in 2011, shocking fans and marking the beginning of his decline in Hollywood. Despite his turbulent past, Sheen's recent actions suggest a man intent on turning his life around. He's been open about his struggles, attributing his missteps to a toxic combination of addiction, immaturity, and intense pressures of stardom. Now sober for over a year, Sheen is embracing redemption with a renewed focus on both his personal and professional life. His comeback serves as an inspiring reminder that no matter how far one falls, it's never too late to rebuild. Sheen's efforts to reclaim control and seek redemption offer hope, proving that resilience can pave the way to a brighter future. Number 13. Emilia Clark. Filming intimate scenes can be daunting for any actor, and Emilia Clarke's experience on Game of Thrones highlights the unique challenges that come with such moments. Known for her role as Daenerys Targaryen, Clark faced numerous scenes requiring nudity, including the iconic moment when Daenerys walks out of a blazing fire, unharmed and unclothed. While these scenes played a pivotal role in shaping her character's arc, the personal repercussions were significant. One particularly awkward incident occurred during the episode titled Book of the Stranger. Clark had invited her parents to watch the episode with her, completely forgetting about the nudity involved. The realization mid-viewing created an unforgettable, cringe-worthy moment, shedding light on the deeply personal challenges actors face when balancing their craft with their private lives. Beyond familial awkwardness, Clark has expressed her reservations about the lasting nature of such scenes in today's digital world. With everything permanently accessible online, these moments are scrutinized endlessly, often detached from the context of the story. Reflecting on her experiences, Clark has since become more selective about projects involving nudity, emphasizing the importance of setting personal boundaries in the entertainment industry. Her journey serves as a reminder of the vulnerability actors face, especially in globally successful productions. It also underscores the need for creators to ensure that performers feel supported and empowered to make choices that align with their personal and professional values. Number 12. George Clooney. George Clooney is celebrated for his charisma and remarkable acting range, but even he isn't immune to career missteps. One of his most infamous roles, playing Batman in the 1997 film Batman and Robin, remains a point of regret for the Hollywood icon. Unlike the darker, more critically acclaimed entries in the Batman series, this installment took a campier approach that left fans and critics deeply disappointed. Directed by Joel Schumacher, Batman and Robin was widely criticized for its lackluster plot, over-the-top performances, and questionable creative choices, including the now infamous bat suit complete with nipples. Despite Clooney's undeniable star power, the movie failed to resonate with audiences and quickly became regarded as one of the weakest entries in the Batman franchise. Clooney himself has been remarkably candid about his feelings toward the film. In interviews, he's described it as a poor choice and even apologized to fans for his portrayal of the Dark Knight. Reflecting on the experience, Clooney has openly called it one of the worst performances of his career and lamented the negative impact it had on the Batman series. His honesty about the misstep highlights the challenges actors face when a project doesn't meet expectations. Clooney's willingness to laugh at his own mistakes and learn from them adds a human touch to his otherwise stellar career, reminding fans that even A-list actors have their cinematic blunders. Number 11. Taylor Lautner. For many actors, the path to fame comes with a series of unexpected challenges, and Taylor Lautner's experience in the Twilight Saga is a perfect example. While the role of Jacob Black undoubtedly skyrocketed his career, not every moment on set was as glamorous as it appeared on screen. Lautner's transformation into the beloved werewolf involved plenty of shirtless scenes, which became a defining aspect of his character. But as much as fans enjoyed these moments, Lautner himself wasn't always thrilled with the attention they garnered. When looking back at his time playing Jacob, Lautner admits that if he had the choice, he would never take his shirt off again for a movie. It wasn't just about the physical demands of staying in shape, though that certainly wasn't easy. Lautner was well aware of the attention his body drew, and that was something he didn't always feel comfortable with. Though he worked hard to get in shape for the role, Lautner is clear about his desire to be recognized for his acting abilities, not just his physique. In his mind, those iconic shirtless scenes, while memorable, often overshadowed his acting talent. Lautner hoped for a future where he could break free from being typecast as the beefcake and instead be seen for his range as an actor. His journey shows just how difficult it can be to balance physical image with artistic growth in Hollywood. Number 10. Bert Reynolds. In Deliverance, Bert Reynolds took a significant risk that left a lasting impression both on screen and in his life. During a pivotal scene where his character navigates a canoe over a waterfall, Reynolds decides to perform the stunt himself, rejecting the use of a stunt double or dummy. The decision, driven by his desire for authenticity, resulted in a painful injury, a broken tailbone, that forced him to take a months-long hiatus from acting. Reflecting on the incident in a 2015 interview about his memoir, But Enough About Me, Reynolds admitted his regret. He revealed that his choice stemmed from wanting to project a rugged and capable image, but acknowledged that it was ultimately a mistake. Looking back, Reynolds conceded that relying on a professional stunt double would have spared him the pain and disruption the injury caused. This moment served as a cautionary tale about the physical risks actors often take in their pursuit of delivering believable performances. The ordeal also highlighted the dedication and determination that Reynolds brought to his roles, even when it came at a personal cost. Despite the injury, his commitment to authenticity and his craft remained steadfast, cementing his legacy as one of Hollywood's most fearless performers. The waterfall scene, while iconic, stands as a reminder of the challenges actors face behind the scenes, and the sacrifices are made to create unforgettable moments in cinematic history. Number 8. Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence, a Hollywood powerhouse and Academy Award-winning actress, has delivered countless memorable performances. However, even the most celebrated stars encounter moments that leave them with mixed emotions. For Lawrence, one such moment came with her role in the 2016 film Passengers, where she starred alongside Chris Pratt. The movie revolves around two characters stranded in space, their survival and emotional connection becoming the crux of the story. Like Jim and Aurora, Pratt and Lawrence shared intense chemistry, which led to some intimate on-screen moments. While Lawrence has had experience with romantic scenes, this one was different. It marked her first time kissing a married co-star, a fact that left her feeling uneasy. Her apprehension stemmed not just from the nature of the scene, but also from a broader sense of personal discomfort. Lawrence admitted that she struggled emotionally during filming, even going as far as to drink wine beforehand to ease her nerves. These feelings became further complicated when Pratt and his then-wife Anna Faris announced their separation after the film's release. While Lawrence had no involvement in their split, the timing fueled unfounded rumors and speculation among fans and media. Looking back, Lawrence has expressed regret over the unease she felt during the production. The experience highlights the challenges actors face in navigating on-screen intimacy and the scrutiny that can follow. It's a poignant reminder that behind the glitz and glamour, actors are human too, with their own vulnerabilities and boundaries. Number 7. Bruce Campbell. Evil Dead 2, the 1987 cult classic, is known for its unique blend of horror and comedy, with Bruce Campbell leading the charge as Ash Williams. The film takes audiences on a wild ride through a remote cabin in the woods where Ash, after discovering an ancient audio recording, unleashes a demon that turns his life upside down. In true Evil Dead fashion, the film ramps up the grotesque and bizarre, leading to one of the most iconic moments in horror: Ash severing his possessed right hand with a chainsaw. Bruce Campbell has always spoken about how intense and physically demanding the production was, especially the scenes involving the prosthetic hand and chainsaw. Imagine having to hold a fake hand attached to a real chainsaw, knowing that the latter was dangerously close to your own flesh. Campbell's dedication was on full display as he handled this high-risk scene, but it was also emotionally draining for him. The physical toll of holding the prosthetic hand while operating the chainsaw was one thing, but the emotional strain of performing such a gruesome and intense scene took its toll. He found himself questioning whether the brutality of the scene was truly necessary or if it was pushing the limits too far. Campbell's regret wasn't just about the physicality, though. Reflecting on the role, he admitted that, looking back, he might have second-guessed taking on the part. The challenges, both physical and emotional, were far more taxing than he initially anticipated. The intense commitment required for the role made him wonder whether the sacrifice was worth it, especially considering the personal toll it took on him throughout the filming process. Despite these regrets, Evil Dead 2 remains a beloved horror classic, cementing Campbell's place in the genre's history. Number 6, Mark Hamill. The Star Wars universe is filled with unforgettable moments, but not all of them sit well with the actors who brought the saga to life. Mark Hamill, the iconic face of Luke Skywalker, has expressed mixed feelings about a certain scene in The Empire Strikes Back involving the ferocious Wampa. Although the creature was meant to be a terrifying predator, Hamill's perspective on the scene offers a surprising glimpse into his empathy as both an actor and a fan of the character. In the film, Luke fends off the Wampa in a desperate bid for survival, using his lightsaber to defend himself. While fans remember the moment as thrilling and intense, Hamill has admitted that it left him uneasy. Originally, he was told that his lightsaber would simply scare the creature away. However, when he saw the final version, Luke was shown severing the Wampa's arm, complete with a slow-motion shot of the limb falling to the ground. Hamill felt this was unnecessarily violent, particularly for Luke, a character known for his compassion and restraint. Years later, Hamill took to Twitter to voice his regrets about the scene, standing firm in his belief that the moment clashed with Luke's principles. Some fans disagreed, arguing it showed Luke's growth and survival instincts. Still, Hamill sympathized with the Wampa's plight, noting the eerie parallel to Luke losing his own hand later in the film. This reflection highlights the complexity of storytelling, where even actors question how their characters' actions align with their established traits. For Hamill, this moment remains a poignant reminder of the balance between action and morality, even in a galaxy far, far away. Number 5, Edward Norton. Edward Norton, a talented actor known for his intense and thoughtful performances, brought a unique approach to his portrayal of the Hulk in the 2008 film The Incredible Hulk. However, his time as Bruce Banner in the Marvel Cinematic Universe was short-lived, largely due to creative disagreements that left him parting ways with the franchise. Norton had a vision for the Hulk that leaned heavily into the darker and more introspective elements of the character. Inspired by the gravitas of Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy, he wanted to explore the mythic and psychological depths of the Hulk across 2 films. His proposed narrative would delve deeply into Bruce Banner's struggles, presenting a complex, introspective character journey that stood apart from the MCU's typical blend of lightheartedness and action-packed storytelling. Unfortunately, Norton's vision clashed with Marvel Studios' approach. The MCU was evolving into a cohesive and interconnected universe, characterized by a more vibrant and accessible tone that appealed to broad audiences. This creative discord led to tension, and ultimately Norton was replaced by Mark Ruffalo, who went on to define the role in subsequent MCU films. While Norton's departure marked the end of his Hulk journey, it also highlighted a fundamental aspect of filmmaking: the need for collaboration and alignment between an actor's creative input and a studio's overarching vision. Though the split may have been disappointing, it ultimately allowed both Norton and Marvel to pursue paths more aligned with their respective goals. Number 4, Ryan Reynolds. When Ryan Reynolds first took on the role of Wade Wilson in X-Men Origins, Wolverine 2009, he had high hopes of bringing to life one of his favorite comic book characters. However, the result was far from what he envisioned. In the film, Reynolds played Wade Wilson, a skilled swordsman who later becomes the mutant Deadpool. While the role was initially exciting, it quickly became a source of regret for Reynolds once the film was released. Deadpool in the comics is known for his sharp wit, sarcasm, and his red and black costume. He's a fan favorite because of his unique sense of humor and ability to break the fourth wall. However, in X-Men Origins, Wolverine, Reynolds' portrayal of the character took a drastically different turn. Instead of the wisecracking, irreverent hero fans loved, the film version of Deadpool was a mind-controlled, silent mutant with a sealed mouth. This was a far cry from the Deadpool fans knew and adored. Reynolds, who had been a fan of the character himself, was initially excited to play Deadpool. But after seeing how the character was treated in the movie, he regretted his involvement. He felt that the portrayal didn't do justice to the essence of the character. Fans felt the same, and Reynolds, motivated by both disappointment and his passion for the role, campaigned for years to get the opportunity to redeem Deadpool with a solo film. Eventually, Deadpool 2016 was released, and the film was everything fans had hoped for, a mix of action, humor, and the distinct personality of the character. Reynolds' portrayal in the solo movie was a major hit, propelling his career to new heights. The success of Deadpool not only gave fans the Deadpool they wanted, but also solidified Reynolds as one of the most beloved actors in superhero cinema. Number 3. Halle Berry. Halle Berry's role in Catwoman was supposed to be a defining moment in her career, but it became one she openly regrets. While the film aimed to break new ground with its portrayal of a strong, independent heroine, the execution fell far short of expectations. Critics and audiences alike panned the movie for its convoluted plot, excessive special effects, and lack of depth in character development. Berry has since reflected on her experience with the film, expressing disappointment over how the project turned out. Despite her excitement to lead a superhero movie, she felt the film failed to live up to its potential, ultimately tarnishing what could have been a groundbreaking role. Her regret stems not only from the film's critical and financial failure, but also from the lingering perception that Catwoman overshadowed her otherwise illustrious career. In a moment of both humor and humility, Berry famously accepted the Razzie Award for Worst Actress, acknowledging the film's shortcomings with grace. During her speech, she joked about the experience, but later admitted that Catwoman was a role she wished she had approached differently, or perhaps avoided altogether. For Berry, Catwoman became a hard lesson in navigating Hollywood, reminding her of the importance of aligning with projects that reflect her artistic vision. While the film remains a blemish on her resume, her candid acknowledgement of regret has endeared her to fans, showing her willingness to confront and learn from her missteps. Number 2. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger's path to becoming the ultimate action star wasn't exactly a smooth ride. Before the Terminator transformed him into a global icon, a much younger, less experienced Schwarzenegger was stumbling through his acting debut in the 1969 film Hercules in New York. At just 22 years old, he was barely recognizable as the future Hollywood powerhouse we know today. In Hercules in New York, Schwarzenegger, going by the stage name Arnold Strong, played the mighty Hercules who finds himself transported to the bustling streets of New York City. The film had a bizarre, low-budget premise with Hercules adapting to life in the city, battling grizzly bears, and having awkward encounters with the 1969 world. But despite the action-packed plot, the film is mostly remembered for its campy vibe, and more importantly, for Arnold's awkwardness in front of the camera. Schwarzenegger himself admits that he wasn't quite ready for the demands of acting in such a serious role. One of the standout moments of discomfort came when he had to face off with co-star Ernest Graves, who played Zeus. Schwarzenegger recalls in his autobiography, Total Recall, that during a key scene with Graves, something about his co-star's performance struck him as funny, so much so that he couldn't help but laugh. "I wasn't supposed to laugh, I was supposed to help," Arnold admits, recognizing that he had yet to grasp the seriousness of acting and the importance of maintaining composure on set. This scene became a painful memory for him, highlighting how far he'd come since those early days in Hollywood. Number 1. Jenna Ortega. Jenna Ortega's rise to fame was meteoric, particularly after her role as Wednesday Addams in Wednesday, a show that became a sensation worldwide. However, her next project, Miller's Girl, a 2024 erotic drama, took her career in a very different direction. In this film, Ortega portrayed Cairo, an 18-year-old high school student who embarks on a complicated and ultimately inappropriate relationship with her creative writing teacher, Jonathan Miller, played by Martin Freeman. The story itself is centered around Cairo's attempts to escape the monotony of her privileged life, but the core of the movie revolves around the morally troubling affair that develops between Cairo and Miller. While the film aimed to explore deeper themes of desire, literature, and personal conflict, it didn't come without its controversies, especially due to the large age gap between the two characters, a 31-year difference, which made the intimate scenes even more uncomfortable for viewers. Ortega, who had become a household name with a wholesome image, expressed regret about the film, particularly about the erotic scenes she was asked to perform. While the script may have been a challenge for her as an actress, she admitted that it was the type of role she wasn't entirely comfortable with. Despite her willingness to take on diverse roles, Ortega soon realized that the negative public perception of this particular film overshadowed her growing reputation in more family-friendly roles. She shared that Miller's Girl tainted her image, especially among her younger fan base, many of whom had adored her for her portrayal of Wednesday. In hindsight, she confessed that filming such explicit scenes had made her uneasy, especially knowing it might alter the way fans saw her. Ultimately, this experience taught Ortega a valuable lesson about choosing roles that align with her values and long-term career goals, illustrating how even the most promising young stars can sometimes find themselves questioning their past decisions. If you found this video insightful, let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more.